Okay, fire away.
Brian, anybody get nicked up during the week, and any update on Zaire?
Nobody. We had some, heat, the last couple of days, and with the late game on Saturday, followed up with a couple of hot days. We had some guys that were dehydrated a little bit, but we got them back with some IVs, but nothing from an injury standpoint. Malik got some practice in, but we haven't got him officially cleared yet. So he's day-to-day right now. It'll be a game time decision on him.
So it's possible he could play?
It's possible.
Brian, you mentioned the freshman defensive lineman getting some time this week. Is there any scenario where one or both of the freshman running backs might see time early in the game?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. We like them both. The game really will dictate, their playing time. It's a different kind of game against Michigan. It was protections.
Mm-hmm.
It was split out as a receiver. It was a little bit of a different game. But they're going to be factors in the game plan. I mean, there's play scripted for them this week. I mean, I couldn't tell you when or where. I mean, how the game unfolds will really, tell. But they're in the rotation.
Frank Trapuka passed today. I know that you're pretty busy with your team, but did you ever have a chance to meet with him, interact with him?
I met him a couple of times at different events, and obviously I didn't know obviously of his status, but got a chance to when I came to Notre Dame. Learned a lot more about him. As I knew about Kelly Trapuka, and didn't get the connection until I worked here at Notre Dame, and then I thought Kelly Trapuka, and then obviously then found out about Frank and being the legend that he was, and obviously a sad time for the Notre Dame football family, but just a great man, and will be sorely missed.
It sounds like Gabe Holmes could be injured for Purdue. Would that affect their game? I know he's one of their leading receivers, but would you think their tight end sets would be pretty much the same, just next guy in?
Purdue has always had really good tight ends. I'm sure their depth there is pretty good. I'm sure they'll have a next man in. We saw a slew of tight ends play over the last couple of weeks.
What vibe do you get from your guys? Last night doing interviews, it was a little bit different. It's not the same confident group. I don't want to say confused, but maybe it's just because they haven't been off a loss like that in a long time.
Well, I think it's like any other team. You're still wanting to get back out there and win some football games, and confidence comes from making plays, and we got to make more plays. So I wouldn't say they're a group that's not confident. They believe they're going to win, but it's like anything else. When you lose football games and believe that you should win them, you're looking for answers to those, and the only way to get them is to get those answers is to go back on the field. So we're all in the same place, and that is work hard during the week and go back out and perform, and that's what they know. They got to go out and perform.
Sometimes it would be nice to get back out on the field on Monday. This week, was it nice to have a few days to get things right?
Yeah, I mean, they knew this week was going to be one where they had to really focus and pay attention to the little things. And, it was pretty clear, that they needed to get back out there and really focus on their craft. And they did. And my expectations are that they'll play better football on Saturday for it.
Was it nice to have the Blackhawks stop by to kind of break things up yesterday?
I think anytime you're around a champion, it brings out, a lot of energy. They were at practice, and, John McDonough, the president and CEO, got a chance to speak to the team, and obviously great ties and connection with Stan Bowman, the GM, being a Notre Dame grad, having him around, and Joel Quenneville. They're champions, they're winners, and we like to have winners around us, and so it was great to have them at the practice.
Even as a Bruins fan?
Even as a Bruins fan, I enjoy being around winners, and those guys are winners.
Brian, obviously, winning the game gives you some measure of improvement, but what are you specifically looking for? How will you measure improvement on Saturday? Is it fundamentals that you're looking for?
Yeah. I mean, I think the way you play the game, I want a smarter team, a more disciplined team. I didn't think we were smart in certain areas and as disciplined as I would like. And I need all 22 guys to play the game the right way all the time. And there were times where we didn't as a group, and so I'll be looking for that, and we're demanding that from them. And those are the things that got us here, and those are the things that will get us back to winning football games consistently.
Along those lines, smart and disciplined and details are things that you've mentioned, going back to last Saturday. Was the tone and tempo of practice this week, was it noticeably different than the first couple of weeks?
Well, I think we didn't leave anything up to our players. We as coaches, it was incumbent upon us that we demanded all those things. Sometimes when when you're winning, you kind of let the players keep moving in the right direction. You're still winning. You kind of let things go, and you chalk it up to, well, that's the personality of this team. Well, the coaches took over this week, and we made sure that we did the things that we need to do. And I'm sure that the players understand that that's the way practice has to go, and they embrace that. So we didn't take it over in the sense that when we got here we had to kind of show them how to practice and show them how to play the games the right way. We're not doing that, but there was just a little bit where we needed to kind of insert our personalities a little bit, and I think that's good. That's healthy, and it's enjoyable when you go out there and you stop the play and run it again. Let's get this right, and we made sure we did that this week.
With all the different options you have at running back, and especially the progress of Amir, what kind of scenario do you envision where the freshmen might be able to have their opportunity as well? Is it a home game? Is it more deeper into a game?
It's hard to say. I mean, I want to win games, and you guys know me well enough that if we've got to run the ball to win, we'll run the ball. If we got to throw it, each game is a different opportunity. Those guys are talented players. If we need to use those guys, we'll use them. And if the circumstances allow us to use multiple backs, we have no hesitation in using them to help us win. But each and every week is a different team, a different defensive scheme, and the way teams want to attack us, and we have to, obviously figure it out as we go in terms of, we have a plan. All of them were scripted into the plan, and then we go into the game and figure out how the game is going to decide how we want it to go. Had a hot quarterback the other night, Devin Gardner, who was making a lot of plays, and they were scoring points. It didn't lend itself to playing 4 and 5 running backs. Hopefully this week it does.
Is the main thing holding him back the learning curve of the college game?
No. They're not being held back. The game itself and the way the game is played would determine how many running backs that you can get in the game. I'm just not going to shuffle 4 or 5 guys in there if we're in a game where I want to do a specific thing offensively. It really depends on how the game unfolds. I have confidence in all those guys, but if you got Folston in, then Carlisle and Atkinson are not in. You know what I mean? So we got to balance it off and decide how we're playing the game offensively. It's not easy, you know. And again, I have no problem playing my freshman running backs, and it's just we have to find the right opportunities and when they need to be in the game.
Any after effects with Tommy with his knee from the Michigan game?
No, it was just a bone bruise. It wasn't. There was nothing in terms of cartilage or ligament or strains. You know, it was nothing. It was just a bone bruise. So he was fine all week. He looked good. We're going to probably try to run him 15, 20 times this week. Yeah, he practiced all week. Yeah, him and you know, I think we had who was the other guy that was banged up a little bit? I can't think. I think it was just TJ that actually was on our injury report. He was the only guy.
As if you needed a running back. Did Mahone dress last week? I don't.
Will did, yes. Will's back in. He took reps this week, and but he's playing, you know, more of, you know, the receiver slot position more than the hybrid slot running back position. And he's back in trying to get reps. And I told him today, I mean, it's competitive. You can't make a mistake in practice. I mean, if you don't know what to do on one play, I mean, you're going to find yourself behind because there's just so much depth out there. And we like them all. I mean, I don't know how to play them all right now. If you guys send me some email on how to do that, just send them to Birch, and I'll be happy to get right back to you this millennium.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.